The RTX 4060 Ti has just released. The RX 7600 is going to come out soon as well. But you know what's a good card? The RX 6600 XT. This card's pretty good at 1080p. Let's see how this one performs on our competitive modern titles, which includes Warzone 2, Apex Legends, Fortnite, Valorant and PUBG. And as always, boys, we're going to try this in competitive settings using our Ryzen 5800 X3D. Alright boys, let's start off with synthetic benchmarks. Right off the bat, we've got Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone 2, and these are synthetic benchmarks. We're going to do a side-by-side comparison of 1080p with FSR 2.1, 1440p with FSR 2.1. As always, all are competitive settings, and let's see how things work out. And obviously everything's all like GPU limited in here, so we've got all our GPUs all maxed out in here, 99% on all of them. Obviously 1080p with FSR 2.1 would have the highest frame rates, and you've got 1440p with FSR 2.1 the lowest frame rates. But you see, everything seems fine in here. Obviously, like even with our 1440p 2.1, the frame rates are still good. So I was wondering, we'll try both extremes on this scenario. Yeah, like the GPU is pretty good in here. The RX 600 XT is like 52 degrees. This is fine. Let's try 1080p FSR and Al Mazrah, right? And you can see in here, like FPS is really good. But I want you to observe that frame time, boys. Look at that frame time. There's a little bit of erratic there, a little bit of micro status there. Although it looks good for average FPS and 1% lows. Disregard 0.1% lows, boys, on any multiplayer game. And you can see in here, like we shot that guy over there, but yeah, and it looks okay, but you can still see in our frame time charts, like really micro status in here. Do note, boys, we've got anti-lag turned off in here, right? But we're still getting all these shots. It's okay. It's okay. RAM utilization 14 gigabytes, VRAM 7.5 gigabytes. Let's go 1440p FSR 2.1. And you can see in the frame times, that's really bad in there, but look at the 1% lows in here, 69. Like, look at that frame time. Look at those frame times. So obviously, we are suffering in here because this guy just has a lower bus width. And yeah, you can see that. There you go. Look at that 1% low in there, boys. So FPS is definitely not good. Well, it's okay, but that 1% lows is just bad, and frame times are really bad in here. I mean, GPU utilization is maxed out. So I wondered, what if we turn on anti-lag, right? So this is with anti-lag turned on, boys. Look at how the frame times are really smooth. That's just really smooth. The frame rates are more or less the same, but just look at the frame times. Look at this one. This is like a night and day difference. This is actually much smoother compared to that 1080p and the 1440p without anti-lag on. So this one with anti-lag on, it's just smooth. Look at that one. Look at this one. Like, this is pretty smooth experience. And with if you have a smooth experience, you can hit those shots and you could just smooth band it around. And I would definitely suggest that you turn on anti-lag for Warzone. So yeah. Let's try Apex Legends, and this time around, same thing. We'll try to see if anti-lag makes any difference. So we'll have anti-lag turn on and turn off, and you can see in here, you can notice that on anti-lag you get a little bit of micro status there. Not very noticeable, but try this one. Look, when we fire those rockets in there, you can see that there are definitely spikes in there. So we'll go with anti-lag turn off, right? 1080p with the 1440p. FPS seems okay, but look at what happens when we go through really graphically intensive scenarios like this one. Bang! You can see that, on our 1440p, it just really drops. And on still shots, it's okay. Like still shots like this one, it's okay. GPU is maxed out. So in this case, we'll definitely go with 1080p competitive settings, and you can see in here, like, look at those frame rates, really high, boys. Yep, VRAM is 4.3 gigabytes, GPU power is about 110 watts. It's pretty smooth with anti-lag turned off on this one, and you get really high frame rates. I'm happy with this one. RAM usage is nearly 10 gigabytes. That's fine. That's fine. GPU clocks does, GPU power reaches about 130, close to 130. This is a pretty smooth experience. I'm happy. Oops. No. Yeah. So that's fine. Yeah. Definitely, that's fine. Look at that one. Like, we're nearly like 300 FPS in this one, and it got a little bit of stutter there, but this is fine. Right, we tried 1440p in here, and you can see that as I'm saying, like, just disregard 0.1% lows, and you could just see, just wait in here. There's a little bit of stutter while I was playing in here, but like I said, it's so random with this one. I don't know what triggers it. Probably with like that one there. Right, I mean, it's still good. About 1% lows, 141 FPS, and average FPS it's around 190, which is okay. But I'll probably just stick with 1080p on this one, boys. Yeah, you can see that. Like, yeah, RAM usage about 9.5 gigabytes, pretty smooth. Well, we hit that one. All right, let's go with Fortnite, and as always, we'll try with synthetic benchmarks, performance mode, DX11 and DX12, and we turn off anti-lag on this one because we've had from previous experiences was just a stuttery miss. So in here, as you can see, boys, look at performance mode, terrible, and this is with anti-lag turned off. Right, those frame times are just really bad. DX11 is okay, but I think the best one in here is DX12. Just look at that one. Right, look at our 1% lows in DX12, it's 286. Look at how smooth it is. GPU utilization in DX12 though is high, which is expected. And yeah, CPU usage is the same, although like GPU power is a bit higher, and that's because we're using more of our GPU utilization, which is fine, and you still get those really high frame rates. And that's why we decided to actually, if you're playing Fortnite with an AMD card, it's actually much better to have anti-lag turned off and you run the X12 like this one. Look at that one, 91%, 92% GPU utilization, VRAM's 3.6 gigabyte, GPU power is 115. Bang! Look at that. That guy's down. 250 FPS for the 1% lows, boys, and just look how smooth that frame time is. So I'm not a pro Fortnite gamer, I just like shoot things, man. And before we proceed, boys, if you're interested in these type of things, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us a lot. And as always, like 0.1% lows, you'd probably disregard that in in games like this. I'll just focus on 1% lows and the frame rates and the frame times. And yes, you can see that in here, and look at how I shot things in here. Because it's so smooth, boys, you could line up your shots like really good for this one. Yeah, frame times are really good at this one. Yeah, GPU utilization, it's the 92%. It's pretty cool. This card's pretty cool. RX 6600 XT, a Sapphire Pulse model that we have. Pretty cool. Right, RAM utilization's really high though. It's now 14.9 gigabytes. That's expected on the DX12 like API. Dang. Oh, I'm just missing those shots. I just suck. Alright, cool. Let's move on to the next game. So the next game is Valorant. As always, we're running competitive settings. We're trying 1080p, 1440p competitive, and then 1440p low. And here we are in here. Right, they sort of like look close, but actually in reality the ones that you get the best results is with 1440p low, and that's because we have lesser GPU utilization in here, whereas the lowest would be from 1440p competitive. So yes, if you want the best FPS with highest resolution, that would be 1440p low. Look at this one. So this one's 1080p competitive. You're still getting really high frame rates, but you do get those frame time spikes. Look at that one. Dang. I mean, I didn't run the average FPS and 1% and 0.1. Look at those frame time spikes, man. That's noticeable when you're playing, but you still get those high frame rates. It's not maxed out, but look, it's just like a bit erratic in here, right? So yeah, if you're in those crucial moments and those spikes happen, you definitely miss those shots. So yeah, And this is with anti-lag turned off. Okay, so we didn't turn on anti-lag in here because we know that there's some issues with some games. Yeah, but it tends to be smooth, but then it tends to be erratic. So definitely there's something going on there. Although our GPU utilization is only like 70%, sometimes about 70% in here. But FPS is still high, 500 FPS. That's still a lot. Okay, so 1440p competitive. Still the same. We still get those frame time spikes in there, random frame time spikes. There we go, another one. All right, but you still got 400 FPS, boys, and we're using the Ryzen 5800X 3D in here, which really pushes those clocks. Use those FPS with these clocks. Look at that, really graphically intensive scene there, and then where GPU powers goes all the way up to 130 watts in there, but that's fine. Right, I probably play with this one on 1440p low. I mean, yeah, look at this one. This is 1440p low, right? So you've got the resolution advantage, and you've got more headroom for your FPS because you've got lesser, but you still got those frame time spikes in there. But this is like I said, this is normal for the game, right? Yeah, you still get those ones there. Right, GPU clock is a bit low, 1400, 1400. Right, it was only about 45 watts. Yeah, but you still got those really high FPS, 600 FPS. All right, let's try PUBG. And PUBG, we've got competitive settings here, boys. And as always, we'll start off with some benchmarks, synthetic benchmarks. So 1080p versus 1440p, native. Anti-lag turned off, and you can see right off the bat definitely 1080p is much more higher. We've got on those both scenarios, we've got GPU utilization maxed out, VRAM is 2.9 on one end, 2.5 on the other, and in here we're actually going to go with 1080p competitive, and you can see in here at 1080p you have GPU is maxed out. Right, so it's pretty much maxed out. You've got like FPS around 200 FPS in here. VRAM's usage is about 3.2. You got those random frame time spikes, but that is fine, right? So what we've noticed in here, if you turn off anti-lag, you'd have a much more smoother experience as well. So overall in our games, you only have need to turn on anti-lag in Warzone, but for our RX 6600 XT, for every other game, just turn it off, you'll be fine. I put 1% lows, just ignore that. This one's pretty smooth, boys. Like 167 for 1% lows. That's pretty good, Now, if you guys are curious on the RX 6600 non-XT, we did a video on that one previously, so you can check the video right here. Overall, with this one, I'm happy with the PUBG performance in here. I'll probably stick with 1080p. I'm competitive in this one. It's much more smoother. That's it for our video, guys. Like I said, if you're interested in the RX 6600 non-XT, check this video out, and I'll see you guys over there.